I'm going to be calling you a radical. Oh, like Jesus? So I want to talk about Jesus on Easter Sunday. People forgot that this holiday is about Jesus, his resurrection. Now, I want to talk about this because Saturday Night Live did that piece with Trump, which, by the way, is masterful. But I'm not talking about the Trump gig. I'm talking about they redid The Last Supper and using actors and artists to recreate that masterful painting, which has been done before, which I've always been turned on big time by those. And so whoever was the costume, the set designer, whatever, they should win awards. It was masterful. The actors recreating that incredible painting. I mean, absolutely masterful. Now, Trump, the actor plays Trump and goes on his rants, and which was hilarious, but I want to talk more serious about Jesus. Now, he goes in and they're mocking it, and he says, celebrating Jesus' birthday. Well, resurrection, I guess, is pseudo de facto rebirth day, but this religion here in Utah, they believe that Jesus was born on April 6th. Now, what was that piece done? April 7th? That's what they believe. Now, a lot of historians, when was Jesus Christ born? Well, they didn't put the date until 350 years after, year 350, when they decided it would be Christmas. I used to follow this blog in Bethlehem. He was he worked for the Catholic Church, and he done tons of work on the Bible. Because how do we set Easter? Now, people ask me all the time, when is Easter and how do we come up with the date? They closed on Sundays. So, what a building. The gas station was grand right here. They tore it down. The 21st Street Church is one of the only ones they restored, and it's grand. It's beautiful. So, remember the spear that used to come up here? I videoed that, the chrome one. The one in Pacific Beach, California is similar to this, still has the chrome. They didn't want to compete with the new temple. I got baptized for the dead in there. So, whoa. But anyway, so Easter is set on the moon cycle, right? What? Yeah. So, the first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox. What's the equinox? Spring. So, that's how we get Easter. So, I want to send this to some people I know that have connections with people at Saturday Night Live. It deserves awards for the set, recreating the painting. But as far as the birth, it's very controversial. What day? And there's a lot of, even the Catholic Church historians believe he was born in 2 or 3 or 4 BC. So, the story of Jesus on Easter, what we've turned it into is disgusting in this country. American manufactured Jesus. Everybody has a brand. There's about 60 brands here that are sold out in left and right field. It's disgusting. Jesus Christ was a pretty radical activist. Remember, he took the whip and went into the temple and threw the money changers out. He was anti-usury. What's usury? Loaning money for profit? Now we're payday loans here? You on the hill for usury? It's disturbing. It's disgusting. So how many brands of Jesus do we have here? Literal. I mean, so I always say Michelangelo was the greatest activist artist. Kevin Blanch, the activist. Jesus could have been the greatest activist that ever lived. So they didn't really talk about Jesus till well over 300 years after his death. So, as far as the man, he stood up against the machine, didn't he? Oh my God, he stood for the right reasons, not Orange Man's reasons. I love it how people worship the golden calf. The prosperity gospel, the prosperity Jesus is total bullshit. It's bullshit, and it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. I grew up, you know, try me on religious theology. Try me. So we have all these different brands. The prosperity gospel, Jesus died so I could be rich. Total bullshit. AK 747 Jesus, blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus, war Jesus. That's my favorite. Or here's the New York Times now, after 20 years, with this young soldier saying, I cannot justify that war, explain that war in Iraq in my brain to this day. And they're putting that shit, well, it's not shit, it's great, but they're 20 years late. I'm the activist. I protested that war big time. I was not born with these scars because I'm like, what? You're going to go to Iraq and do what? Went off to Afghanistan to kill the top. What? They never did anything to us. Nobody from Iraq laid a finger on us. What are you talking about? They were Saudis that did 9/11. This manufactured different to meet their mantra, their way. The prosperity gospel of Jesus really pisses me off. It's so untrue. You know, he was poor, the long-haired, barefooted, radical. Feed the poor, heal the afflicted. Stood up to the inherited wealth freaks. The anti-usury act. People don't even know what usury is anymore. I mean, we have manufactured so many different brands of Jesus in here to meet our own. It's bullshit. It really pisses me off. Now, I don't get into whether he's the Son of God or not, or, you know, the Virgin Mary. I do that great at Old Town. I love doing that, you know, with the Virgin Mary on the mule on 1212 in Old Town, San Diego. But when I grew up here, in Hunsaker, the Force, my grandfather, the Hunsaker Mill, boy, they shared everything. They were completely opposite what their philosophies are now, but neither here or there. That piece they did is masterful as far as redoing the Last Supper, the actors, the costume design. Fuck, it looked just like the painting, which has been done before, but still, you know. And how can you worship a person, let alone a politician? And that's what we've got, left and right. Obama controversy. How are we worshiping these? These Obama, Trump. There's no difference in these guys. It's just Operation Foxconn News. So what we've done, and then this bleeding of religion into politics globally. Ask Putin, Tsar Putin. By the way, they believe, Orthodox Christians in Russia believe that Jesus was born on January 7th. That's when they celebrate it. So, but anyway, neither here nor there. This bleeding of somehow we bleed politics into religion. Why do you think these forefathers separated it? Why do you think they were, what did they call themselves, dyers? You know, they were religious, but was it Jefferson? Obama K. Brody wrote that book, or was it Benjamin Franklin? I think it was Jefferson. Organized religion is the root of all evil. The Constitution was framed to get away from that kind of shit. Here we are. So, Jesus Christ, the man, my favorite activist, yeah, and, you know, Dorothy Day, I loved her work. The Radical, her book, she said the same thing that I'm saying right now about Jesus. She says the hardest part of being an activist is the part accepting poverty. I've had a trouble with that. I've had really a problem with that. But I was brought home from the hospital, mutated right up there. D school's right there, D hospital, when I was a boy on Easter Sunday. My mom didn't know she had twins in there. She almost died childbirth. I was very sick, very fucked up. But these 11 years since 2011, I got leukemia in 2011, you know, went into bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. You can't make it out. Battling leukemia. I'm running out of places for medical alert bracelets. I got so many scars on my body now. So this was the hardest one. I've had open heart surgery twice in the last 5 years. My perfectly good heart, born with a birth defect, it's been a fight and a struggle. But this one, this winter, got up this morning because spring finally got here after this hardcore, brutal winter. And Ogden, Utah. And, I'm very strong through this whole thing. I've tried to keep my emotions as much out of it as I can. I got out this morning, was driving up to go see my grandsons, and tears just started rolling down my cheeks. Out of nowhere. I don't think I've ever been so emotional as I've been today in my life. I don't know how I didn't die in there this year. All fall, I could feel it burning. Nobody will listen to it. Shoot, I'm just shriveling away. I'm just falling to pieces. I'm down to 138. Christmas Eve. That morning, I feel it. It's a heart attack. I don't want to go to the emergency room on Christmas Eve, so I got it out through the holidays. New Year's Day, another one. Can't get in there to see them till the 3rd. Run the stress test. They said your electrical system's gone. We're going to put it back. No. I've had an event. They're ready to take me in. No. It's went in through my groin. They were in there for a long time. Couldn't find it. Just like I said, right on the valve. Ripped. Tore my perfectly good artery to shit. I don't know how I didn't die. But it went on for months. It was brutal pain. It was horrific. Dr. Goff, thank God for him. Cut the artery out of my leg, split me all the way up. I'm going to split all the way here and here for the drainage. Here I got a pacemaker now. I don't know how I did. That's what he says. I don't know how. And he says, you're right. He says, that valve was all gooed up. I've had a lot of life and death close events, but I can't even imagine what he went through on that cross. So, all these religions need to stop fighting each other. It's bullshit. And stop pandering and bleeding it into. This guy thinks he's going to go get some ice cream. They're closed on Sundays. Maybe it's Mr. Farr. They need to quit fighting each other and leave it out of politics and quit worshiping politicians. Wasn't that one of the sins? Worship the golden calf. Bear false witness. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Jesus died so I could be rich. Jesus died so I could covet thy neighbor's Walmart goods. The usury that's going on in China and Indonesia that's making our goods. Weber State School of Business. I've been screaming about it for years and years and years. Just look it up. The FBI in there. They develop. What has happened to these religions, and not just here in Utah? What has happened to, all these religions? What has happened? You've lost the freaking true meaning of Christianity. Christianity is named after Jesus Christ. The activists. He stood up to the machine. So radical, so crazy, so off the wall back then. They used to nail a lot of people to the cross. They nailed him to a cross to teach everybody a lesson, to watch him suffer and watch him die. Isn't the story he died for everyone's sins? That was a masterful piece at Saturday Night Live, by the way. What a piece of art. Redoing the supper with the actors. I don't know who dressed and designed him the set, but it's a masterful. But when they said, these religious, what they've done in the last 23 years is beyond. I got this car. I used to have a bumper sticker on my car. Bush lied. Soldiers died. I'm going crazy in the inception. They're staging troops at the polygon. My dad, the Special Forces Marine. My Uncle Claude, look him up. One of the greatest decorated fighter pilots in the history of this country. He just passed away. How about my Uncle Harold, who raised me on my beach D-Day? They weren't freaking my flag's bigger than your flag. Look at me. Fuck no. They hated these wars. Hate them. Called them bullshit. Because that's what they were. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to kill a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. Boogeyman. They invented ISIS. Fucking. Let the oligarchs make it rain in Ukraine. In the name of religion? It's disturbing. It's disgusting. American manufactured Jesus. Which brand? Everybody's got their one. Again, blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus, AK-47 Jesus, freaking covet thy neighbor's Walmart goods Jesus. You know, go slaughter people in his own land for no reason, Jesus? What the fuck? So I wanted to get this up on Easter. This era, man, it blows my mind, actually. Since 2000. Bush, right here, right down the road. Dumb and Dumber was filmed. Right here, my buddy Butch worked for me in Chavez at the Keg. It was filmed at his bar. Bush dumb, Obama dumber. And Fukushima, what's that? You know, he was in the situation. Told Jimmy Kimmel, well, did you get calls in the middle of the night? Like, it was, yeah. Like when Fukushima happened, Jimmy Kimmel, what Fukushima? Remember, Barack Obama's in the situation that backed up the 32 ships, including the USS Reagan. I talk usury, nuclear energy, usury. You know, the typhoon, he said. And then, of course, Trump meets with a B how many times? Freaking, you going to talk about food? Oh, Biden? They're all the same. Run debt. You don't think debt's usury? I mean, you don't think cancer, leukemia is usury? I mean, buy here payday loans? I mean, it's sick. It's sick what we've done in the name of religion. You know? These people should get down on their freaking knees, all of them that have done this. All these religious leaders across this country. All of them. All of them. Beg God for freaking forgiveness. The real Jesus. I'm a Michelangelo guy. You know, I love that guy, the activist artist. You know, he went out to Catholic Church, claimed here. They tried to kill him for all those years. Leopata, that's Jesus. You ever seen that sculpture in the flesh? In real? I started to cry the first time I saw it. Look how he was persecuted. You know, so the real Jesus, he stood up to the oligarchs. Loaning money for profit? It's like, oh, no. He stood up to the fake prophets. He stood up to all of these, you know, to the point where they killed him. You know? So, to stand up to contemporary culture, to stand up to what this freak show's turned into, you're going to contemporize it and make it into your own. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. But I wanted to do this because I Saturday Night Live. So I watched Saturday Night Live. I just popped up my phone. I watched that video. I'm like, wow. There's been other artists that have done these masterful painters with real. I get all turned on by that. I think it's a great art form. It's incredible, actually. So, Jesus, American manufactured Jesus. Well, I consider it sinful. Well, it's beyond sinful. It's beyond sinful. You know, what did Jesus say? What happened to those people? And remember when he was on the cross? This was the people that were killing him. And we can't forgive. We can't turn the other cheek. We can't say we're sorry in this country. Nobody can say they're sorry for anything. I don't see anybody, all these trolls and rats, everybody's attacked me. Is anybody saying sorry when I was right the whole time? Nobody says they're sorry to me. They just keep attacking me. What did Jesus say while he's on the cross? These are the people killing him. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. But the sad thing is, I believe all these religions across the country, I believe they do know what they're doing. We know what that sin carries if you believe in any kind of truth. Jesus, the real Jesus. Again, American manufactured Jesus, the prosperity gospel, that is total bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everything they've done. The capitalist Jesus, the prosperity gospel Jesus, the Walmart Jesus, the exploit human underprivileged people all over the world for our slave-made goods Jesus. It's bullshit. So, Kevin Blanch, the activist. In the name of who's my two favorite activists in the history of mankind? Easy. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Michelangelo. I'll end it like this. Michelangelo. Tried to kill him for 40 years, Heidenbecker, you know, the great sculptor. Why are you such a great sculptor? You're probably the greatest sculptor who ever lived. My wet nurse came from a family of masons. I lay my own rock. I split my own rock. I don't exploit people. I do what I gotta do. I had this really incredible, wild ass girlfriend in this town for all these years, right up till I got cancer. That was one hot relationship. She was like, oh, everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She was one of, I mean, she blew your mind. Physically, mentally, crazy, wild. People jump or sit. You know how guys are. What are you doing with Kevin Blanch? What are you hanging with him for? He's got arms like a Michelangelo's sculpture. You ever seen him with his shirt off? Not now. Not now. Jesus Christ was a craftsman. Jesus Christ was a craftsman. First, they come for the craftsman. I won't stop there. Stand.